Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I was just wanting to do a general read overall regarding this current situation, this pandemic that has been declared of COVID-19 and the coronavirus, and how people are reacting to it and all that kind of thing. I did have some few questions around it. My first question was the origin of the coronavirus, the origin or the reasoning or that type of thing. There's one card that flew out here, and it is the Temperance card. This card is a card of balance. Um, it shows us that we need to have patience, but it's also, as far as the reasoning would be, to bring balance. Another question that I had was basically, what are most people fearing at the moment? So I've got a few cards that flew out here, so we'll just go with these. So what are most people fearing at the moment? We have the Five of Swords. So this is like a win at all costs. So this, like, doing whatever's right for you, and greediness, and just taking whatever you want, basically without any care or concerns for others. So people's fears could be right now is people taking things that without any care or concerns for others. The other card that came out was the Four of Pentacles. This Four of Pentacles represents greediness, hoarding. You can see how he's holding on to those so tightly. So fear of loss, fear of not having enough, those types of things. And then the other card that flew out was Community. So right now, this is community, basically represents big celebrations, things like that. So people could be having some fears around these types of things at the moment. So other thing I was wondering is about the time frame of this virus, and when we could see potential resolution here coming. Is like a time frame that we could potentially see a resolution and things basically returning to how we expect them to. And there's some cards that flew out here. So this is the Page of Wands that came out. So the Page of Wands, wands indicates summer. So the wands represent summertime. And then we have the Fool, which it represents brand new beginnings, but it does have a 0 there. So I'm just going to get another card to clarify on the timing of this Page of Wands and the Fool for timing of when we can expect some resolution and things returning to normal for all of us. Oh, we had 3 cards come out here. So we have the Five of Cups. This is a lot of sorrow, grief, but in regards to timing, could represent 5 months. 5 months, and just a lot of grief and sorrow, and not seeing what we still have, kind of not appreciating what we have, and it's kind of a crying over spilt milk card. And also the Ten of Wands came out. Ten of Wands represents feeling burdened. It is the number 10. The moon there shining to me kind of indicates like emotional burden. And the 10 could potentially be referring to 10 months. 10 months time there, maybe near the full moon. The Fool also has a moon here where we can get a fresh new start, potentially in 10 months. And then another card that flew out with the timing here is the Hermit. And this is 9, so 9 to 10 months. But the Hermit refers to going inside oneself and being basically in isolation. So it's inner reflection. It's kind of keeping to oneself come out here in this as well, which is interesting. And then I just wanted to know some potential outcomes. What are some potential outcomes that could happen when this all resolves? What are some potential outcomes that we might see? There's a card that came out. There's two. Okay, so then we'll just go with this one first that fell out. So this is fear of being trapped in a situation, addictions. This is maybe feeling trapped in situations that you're powerless to change. Also can represent just negative behavior, whether it be overeating, over shopping, over indulging in gambling, drinking, drugs, that type of thing. Another outcome could potentially be, this card is in reverse. It's the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles usually stands for feeling left out in the cold. So we could potentially not feel the lack or be afraid or feel left out anymore, or on our own in the future. So one more card for outcomes, and then I'll ask for some advice. So just one more card for potential outcomes. Oh goodness. It's a whole lot that flew out there for a minute. Oh, so potential, oh there we go, there's one. Potential outcomes is also, this is a card of stealing and thieving and that type of thing. You can see how he's got his hands full there, but he's still eyeing up those other swords laying on the ground. So this is the seven of swords. So basically it's a card of stealing and deceit, trickery, that kind of thing is a potential outcome. And then I was just going to ask for some advice for us all. So what can we do, or what would be some advice that we can do in this current situation where everybody is having some challenges here? So this is basically just kind of reminisce and take time and think about good times, and try and recall good things and look at the good in the situation. Get a couple more cards of advice for us. Oh, and there they fell out, so we'll use these ones. So we have the Tower in reverse. So Tower in reverse is oftentimes, this is like learning from a situation. This is avoiding a disaster. So we can potentially avoid a disaster by focusing on the positive with this here too, and focusing on the positive, reminiscing about good things. And then we'll just see what the other card is. So the other card is the Hierophant. The Hierophant can stand for big institutions, governments. It can stand for hospitals, things like that. So yeah, it's kind of interesting with this tower here. Could have a shake-up maybe in our government, and hospitals are going to be taxed, I'm sure, but we have to focus on the good. And then just, I wanted to see what was on the bottom of the deck here for us. So overall, we have the three of swords on the bottom of the deck. So the overall energy is basically heartbreak, and sometimes it's going to lead to separation from loved ones, and just times of sorrow and things like that is the overall energy for this spread. I just want to get one more card of advice though, I think. One more card of advice for us all. and it's the Ace of Cups. So this represents brand new beginnings and happy times with like being emotionally fulfilled and happy and have fresh new beginnings after this. So yeah, so that is a positive card for sure, is the Ace of Cups. Well, thank you for watching, and if you like my channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again.